You didn't see that one coming, did you, lads? Welcome, guys, to Lee Judges TV, and this is officially our 1 million views special. 1 million views special. Obviously, introducing the two lads that are with me, Dan and Lee. How you both doing, guys?
Amazing.
Yeah, all good.
Great
all
intro.
Good.
Great intro there,
Great.
Skegness
Great.
Dave.
See, what happened last.
I feel like
Go
a
on, mate.
Newcastle fan at the moment. What do you reckon? Like, you know what I mean?
Last time, what happened was I done a video. I forgot which one it was, and I gave Lee a very underwhelming intro video. I was saying, "Oh, it's gonna be a new intro, all that stuff."
Yeah, do you remember that?
And then we got into it, and there was no. It was just literally a logo, and that's it. No more than that. So today, I pumped it up a bit. Yeah,
You
for
did, you've
Lee Judges
improved.
TV.
Our
Sorry?
rollicking done him good, didn't it, Dan? It done him good, like.
They know what to do next time, judges. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just straight him off a bit like that, and get things done like that.
A gentle nudge, mate. That's what it was. A gentle
That's
nudge.
That's it. So today, guys, officially the show is a live Q&A with Lee and Dan. They're both here, guys, with us. We're going to ask everyone in the chat. Obviously, you need to be. This is a subscriber-only 1 million views special. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. After 1 minute, you can start asking us all the questions that you want. So there's a live Q&A with Lee and Dan all about the channel. But before we do that, we're just going to have a little bit of talk about the channel, guys, and how it got started. Because I wasn't actually there at the beginning. So how did you two come about, obviously, starting the channel?
Well, I'll tell you what it was. Is I had a chat with Rory Jennings. Rory, I have a lot to thank Rory for. Like, you know, Rory sort of. I was actually doing something with Sophie, doing a video with Sophie, and Rory was there, and he was doing one with her as well. Like, you know, and he said, "Oh, do you mind jumping on my channel, like, you know, and doing something?" So I said, "Yeah, of course, no problems." And he then said to me, "Look, you should do your own channel and that." And I said, "Oh, do you know what? I'm a little bit worried about it for numerous reasons. Technical stuff I'm not very, very good at, and also, you know, what sort of feedback it would have having it." And he said, "Look, you know, definitely you should do it." I went away that day thinking not too much of it. And then I think about 2 days later, he said, "Look, I'll get." Rory messaged me and said, "Look, I normally get about 40,000 views when I do videos and all that, but your one's got 80,000, like, you know what I mean?" He says, "You know, you're more popular than what you think you are, like, you know." So that was it. Then I had a chat with Dan. What I wanted to do was, even though I've done a little bit of hosting, it's not my strongest point, I don't think, like, you know. So I wanted to get someone that was who could host and do that, and Dan, I think personally, is very, very good at that. So I asked Dan if he would fancy coming on board, and that's where it went from there.
Yeah, it's amazing, obviously, to see the kind of natural connection between you two on not just a football front, but just basically personally, like how you bounce off each other when you're doing each live stream is incredible to watch. And Dan, obviously, when you started the channel with Lee, what was kind of like your perception? Where did you think it was going to head to? What trajectory do you think it was going in?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Dave? Because I didn't know nothing about this. Lee rang me up and he actually said, I want to do my own channel and I'd love to get you on board. I said yes straight away because me and Lee have clicked. You know, when you just click straight away with someone, you just get on. Everything's easy, we both have been like that at games when we meet in the pub or whether we're talking online. It's exactly the same kind of relationship. We have great banter, but also we respect each other. And I think that's massively important when you're doing something like this together. And there is great chemistry between us. And what's great is it's none of it's fake. It comes naturally. And that's what I love with Lee, And it's always been so easy to chat to him and have a laugh with him as well, So when I see this, I thought to myself, look, one thing me and Lee are good at is talking about Arsenal, and I can say that wholeheartedly. One thing we're not great at is anything tech. So when I said to judges, what the hell are we going to do about this? We had to obviously get some other people to help us. So, I mean, we've got a whole list of people that I'm sure we'll give a mention to in a while about how great people have been. And well, I was really, really surprised, and perhaps Lee wasn't, at how many people were really willing to give us the time and to actually look at helping us with it. Because, sometimes people can look at podcasts as being rivalries or competition to each other. And people just didn't see that with me and Lee. It was just, yeah, Dan, Lee, anything you both need, mate, I'll help you out. And I have to thank people for that because they didn't have to do that, So to answer your question, Dave, where did I think the channel was going to go? I thought it had potential because Lee's a massive figure in the Arsenal world. But also Lee's really good at what he does and he doesn't always believe that he is. And I think that's why I love Lee because he's quite humble with it, and he just talks Arsenal, and he's great at what he does. And I knew the channel would get big, but I must admit I was even surprised to hit 1 million views in 3 months. I mean, I don't know about you, Lee, but I thought it was overwhelming, if I'm honest. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I have to say, I didn't think it would go as well as what it has done, and we've got a lot of people to thank for that. Like, I think if I'll be honest, if it was just me and Dan at this moment in time, we wouldn't be nowhere near that million. So, it has been great. And obviously, like you coming on board, Dave, was a massive thing for us. Massive thing for us. But that all come about. It's just this. Let's tell a few people how that come about. I never knew Dave from before the Euros. I never knew who he was and whatever, and he was doing a little bit of work on the Don Robbie show, doing that sort of stuff behind the scenes. And we started talking one day, and I just said, I've just set up my new channel, and Dave said, well, I'd like to help, you know what I mean? So I said, well, what can you do? And he said, well, I can do it all. So I said, like, welcome aboard. So that's how it was. But and then of course we started to get to know each other through doing the watch-alongs for the Euros, and that's how it went, So without a doubt, a fantastic signing for us,
a bit like Henry, yeah.
Well, I'd say and probably Dennis Bergkamp, because you changed the perception of the channel. As I said before, 2 months ago or 3 months ago, I didn't even know what a thumbnail was. Now I do now, you know what I mean? So,
thought it was one of them.
Yeah, exactly. And I bought mine also not much of one. So so that was a great thing. But before Dave come along, I was. Well, how do I go about it? And I have to say a big thank you to Michelle first of all, because she set it all up without her technology to a certain, because she's quite good on the computer front and all that. So that helps us out a little bit to start off with. So a big thank you to her. And then we got people involved that Dan knew, Sam, who will come on board very, very early. And he'd done the early few, what do they call them, like
social media and all that.
Yeah, social media, and he put a couple of videos together which went down really well, and so that was great. Gonna have to say a big up for Sophie as well, Nikolai, because she put things together for us, having her own channel, and that's where Dan comes in when he turns around and says rival channels. Obviously like Sophie and Kevin do their own channel and all that, but they was willing to help and everything like that. Kevin, for instance, legend that he is, straight away on the phone, I want to be involved, and And I said to him, well, you know, the fee's not going to be great. He said, you know, I mean, whatever, you know, I mean, like, not bothered. And to have someone like Kevin on board straight away and willing to do whatever we wanted, you know, you just wanted to be a part of it was a thing
Massive
that,
boost.
yeah, because, you know, listen, I get on really well with Kevin, and I've never ever took advantage of that we're friends and that he played for the Arsenal, and I've never pushed anything onto Kevin and asked for him, you know what I mean? Like the odd video I've asked for when someone's been not well or something like that. Which, by the way, I've had to return the favour to him on a couple of occasions, so that's been really good. But yeah, so for him to just say that he wanted to be involved and help and all that, you know, was a massive boost for me. Like, do you know what I mean? Because you know, like me and Dan get on really well and things like that. But even Dan, you know, like to just want to be involved and help, you know, was unbelievable. And when Dan turns around and says, you know, people that are willing to help, you know, I didn't think that. I said, who's going to want to help me? You know what I mean? Like, or do that. And it is unbelievable, like, that people are willing to give their time for you and everything like that. And so, yeah, I'm very, very humble on that at this moment in time, you know, to get 20 to 22,000 subscribers at the moment, you know.
Increasing every day as well.
Yeah, increasing every day. And we've only been going 3 months. Is quite good. You know, I think at this moment in time, you know, we're very, very proud of that. Like, that, listen, you know, that people want to come and listen to what you want to say and everything like that is unreal, really. Like, you know, so yeah, I'm more than humble about it, really. Yeah.
Yeah, big up to the team, of course. Everybody who's worked with us for the past 3 months. It's been a huge
Well,
honor.
we're going to be mentioning them all during this stage, at
Yeah.
some sort of stage, like, because
exactly.
they do need to be mentioned, like, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and obviously, I feel very honored when I met Lee initially at the Euro Watch Along, when I was like, okay, you know, what can I do to help the channel grow, which could be including graphics, videos, thumbnails, anything at all that could boost the channel 100%. And, you know, I was instantly for myself, I was like, I need to be zoned in on this project 100%. You see? So if I'm zoned in on a project, I'm going to go with it and run with it immediately. So obviously it's an honor to meet you both initially. And, you know, this is going to be a future that's going to extend, you know, past obviously this 1 million views, and we're aiming to reach 5 million, 10 million, 100 million, and, you know, hopefully 1 billion in the future one time as well, which will be good. So today, guys, we have obviously a Q&A for everyone. So make sure you get your questions in the comment section and the live chat below, so we can actually answer a few of your questions. So first one I actually have here is from Nathan Clark, which says, Lee, what is your best Arsenal game ever? We can actually ask that to Dan as well. So Lee and Dan, what is your best Arsenal game ever?
The best Arsenal game, without doubt, is Arsenal versus Liverpool at Anfield. Can't beat that. But I didn't go to that game, like, you know. So, but the best game that I've ever been to, Arsenal Spurs semi-final at White Hart Lane, when we went to, it was the two legs finished level, when we went to a replay, which was on a flick of a coin, went to White Hart Lane, and we was 1-0 down with 8 minutes to go, and Ian Allenson scored to make it 1-1, and then David Rocastle, rest in peace, Rocky, scored in the last minute, yeah, I went absolutely mad. And the funny thing about that game is now, unfortunately, Ray Clements has passed away as well. You know, was in goal. Was one of my customers at the shop.
Okay.
And become really close, like friends with the family. And I always ribbed him about the goal because I think he should have got it. You know, he says, "Yeah, I should have saved it as well." Like, so I always give him a little bit of a rib about that. I did, you know. And so that was it, yeah. And I always said that was a fantastic atmosphere that day. And you know, the Arsenal Spurs games, you know, were always very, very memorable. And so I think it would be that one. Just pips the other one, which was the one at Old Trafford.
Okay, nice.
Vieira got the edge. Remember, Sol Campbell's last ever game for Spurs, that was.
Dan, same question to you. What is your best Arsenal game ever?
So the best Arsenal game ever is I'm with Lee, is Anfield '89, but I was 2 years old, so I can't use that one.
Highlights, Dan.
Yeah,
you could do the highlights.
I could do indeed. So I would say this is a bit of a strange one to go with, but I think you understand why. I'm going to go with the Arsenal-Leicester game at Highbury, where we went unbeaten and won the league. Because I don't think I'll ever see it again, if I'm honest with you. I hope I see Arsenal win the league again, but I certainly won't see them go unbeaten. And that game was so special for me because of those reasons. Now, I've had great games, don't get me wrong. I loved beating Barcelona at the Emirates. I loved the 5-2 at the Emirates against Spurs. But for me, I'm going to have to go with that. I've seen us win FA Cup finals, but I love those. But I still didn't feel as special as I did that day, winning the title. And I think even now, having those memories of, wow, I really thought we were going to win the title again within the next few years after that. And to have now 17 years of not winning it, I think it's made that game even more special for me. So I'm going for that one.
Nice, very good. Obviously, both illustrious games for Arsenal. Next question we have is from Pat. Lads, I like to run. I did the London Marathon on Sunday and take my mind off Arsenal at times. Wouldn't everybody? What do you like to do when not watching or doing podcasts? Delighted for the success. This is my favorite show. Both of you. What do you like to do when you're not doing podcasts or watching podcasts?
Go on, Lee.
Spare time.
I like a bit of socialising, doing things like that. Love my cricket. Love. Still play a bit of football with the vets when my back allows me to do it. I enjoy different sports. I think that's one of the greatest things I've always recommend this to anybody. Like, just don't let Arsenal be your only focus. You know what I mean? Have other sports, other things in common. So, like, when things are not going well or there hasn't got the Arsenal on, you've got other things to do. I love my tennis, going to Wimbledon and things like that. And so I just do that and just enjoy other sports. Very, very sporty. Love me sports. And unfortunately, over the last few years, I haven't been for a couple of years on holiday. I do like me holidays as well, like, you know, getting the old tans, getting on the old bunts, the old bit of the old Factor 4. Do you know what I mean? So, but unfortunately, like, I haven't been on holiday for a little while, like, you know. So, so that's what I like doing. But I also like, you know, I'm very, very fortunate. I've got a very, very good lot of friends and close friends that I've known for a very, very long while. Schoolmates as well that I've been to school with. So, and keeping with them as well, like, and doing things differently. You know, bit of golf. Love a bit of golf as well.
Dan, same question to you. Spare time moments. What do you like doing?
Sleeping, because I'm always on podcasts, mate. No, I'm joking. It feels that way at the moment. So for me, I'm with Lee. I'm a bit massive people person, and I'm lucky to have a large circle of friends, and they've all got partners, and they then get involved, and it just gets a larger circle of friends, which is great. Massively into my music, go to gigs quite a lot. And I'm massively into Formula One with my dad. So we go to the Formula One, but also when it is on TV and we're not at the football, me and Dad will sit and watch that. So family and friends, music and Formula One for me.
When are you planning to do a future Formula One video? Potentially, I'm guessing.
I'd like to, man. Yeah, I would like to. Yeah. I mean, obviously, when I went to the Grand Prix, there was that put together in the early days. That was, and that was grand. But there was a lot of talk. I know Peter on Pole is in the chat, and we were going to do something together. He's got a podcast on Formula One, and we were going to try and do that. But at the moment, it's been so busy with other content. But don't rule that out in the future.
Nice. It's obviously a lot of questions flying in here. This is actually a very good one, and this is for post 2010 Arsenal. Do you think you would have won the league if Wenger signed Suarez in 2013? Obviously, there was that talk
Great
for
question.
Suarez going to
Great
Arsenal. It's a
question.
really, really good question.
Great.
Obviously, Arsenal were crying out for a prolific striker. Dan, I'll start with you first. Wenger signed Suarez in 2013. Would you have won the league?
So the reason I'm going to say yes is because that year, or was it the year after actually? Because obviously we didn't get him that year. He almost won Liverpool the league single-handedly. And I personally believe that we did have a better team than Liverpool. They had Sterling, Suarez, and Gerrard, and then no one else. So I would say yes. We had, I think at the time, Olivier Giroud and Podolski, who are rated, don't get me wrong, but they weren't at that elite level. And I think we were a striker away from competing, not just that year, but the year that Leicester had won it as well. So I will say yes.
Lee? Obviously, that question comes from the Uruguayan hero, so he's definitely Uruguayan and definitely a lover of Suarez. So you can answer, obviously, for him. Would have Suarez won Arsenal the league in 2013?
You can never say it would have done, but I think it would have given us a massive, massive chance. Massive chance. At that stage, he was absolutely the best player in the best striker in the Premier League. He was awesome. And look what he's gone on and done at Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. So I think we missed a trick there. Like when that was that was a big downfall of Arsenal. That was. So I'm not just by not getting him, but we could have gone on. And I think we was crying out for that. We was crying out for a player like that at that moment in time. And if we'd have got him, I think it would have been a big boost. Yep. So I think we would have probably won, and probably won a lot more as well.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, there's a lot of talk, obviously, in the news today, and this is kind of off topic. Obviously, it's a little mini segment that we're talking about today. And Newcastle's news today, pretty much, of the takeover. They've been pretty much completed the takeover. A lot of questions flying about Newcastle. And there's a question here from Wilson. Do you think that potential owner takeover at Newcastle should worry Arsenal? That's for both of you guys. Obviously, it's pretty much completed.
Not just going to worry Arsenal. It's going to worry Liverpool, Man United.
A lot of people as well. It's going to worry a lot of people. Yeah.
I'll say.
Would you be happy for them? Because Newcastle's a club that's embedded in Premier League history.
I've got great respect for Newcastle, but am I happy for them? Am I happy for Chelsea fans? Am I happy for Man City fans? No, because they'll be getting what I want. You know what I mean? So. But do Newcastle fans deserve a bit of success? Of course they do over the years. They've been fantastically supported over the years. But do I want them to win it? Of course not, because it means that I ain't. But I'll tell you this now: I prefer them to win it over Manchester City and Chelsea, because it's a proper supported club and everything like that. So I wouldn't begrudge them it. But let's go and let's be honest. I've never seen Newcastle win anything. Right, I've never seen Man City win anything. Right, I never see Chelsea win the league. As soon as they got investment, I've seen Chelsea win the league, and I've seen Man City winning trophies as well. Welcome to the party, Newcastle, because you're going to be winning things.
Yeah, that's true. Dan, what do you say about that takeover?
On everything, mate. I mean, I think this is worrying for the whole of the league, and people are saying, is it a worry for Arsenal and Spurs? Forget us. We're miles away as it is. This is a worry for Liverpool and Man United. This is a worry for Man City and Chelsea, because it ain't going to be a given, and it's not so much a given anymore. Now it certainly ain't going to be. In the next 5 years, you'll see Newcastle winning things, like Lee says, 100%. And if they want to, they've got the money to go and get Antonio Conte, Harry Kane, Mbappe, Haaland, all those players. As long as the player wants to come, which trust me they will, because they'll give him 500k a week, then they will be a force to be reckoned with. And if they don't go down that ambition, they'll go down the next lake, which will be the Sterlings and the, I hate to say it, but the Sakas and those sort of type players that they'll be going for. And if they can get them and they get them on the right money, they'll get them. So, they could go down the England route and get Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice. They could go and get Jude Bellingham if they want to. They've got all the money in the world now. So I expect to see them winning things. I really do.
Yeah, it seems like a really different thing, obviously, altogether when when a foreign investor takes over a club and it's just basically okay, now they can start competing for trophies. So it's a bit of a wild one in the Premier League. But the next question is all about hair, and there's two questions about hair. Okay, first one is about Dan. Okay, why don't Dan's beard and moustache join together like a normal person? Can you answer that, Dan?
Do you know what? I can answer that because of who's wrote it. I know Mike from the Guinness podcast very
Mike,
well,
yeah.
as everybody knows Magic Mike from the Guinness podcast. Do you know what it is? It's a really strange one because he's spot on. This bit just doesn't seem to grow. It's like there's just nothing there. There's no follicles there. It's like the follicles are here and here, and the back of my head they're here also. So it's not happening. But if I do shave, I look about 12, Mike. So I have to try and look a bit manly for you, mate. So there's my answer. That's the best I can do, Dave.
Okay, and obviously big up to Mike who's taken part in the chat with us today on our 1 million views special. And the next question is for Lee, if I can find it. There it is. When did Lee Judges start losing his hair?
I've never lost my hair. I just chose to be old.
What an answer.
One of my favourite actors going back in the day was Telly Savalas, and I've just wanted to follow that style, like, you know.
That's
so
it.
there you go.
Simple.
Who loves
Simple.
you, baby?
I thought it was Phil Mitchell, your favourite actor.
No. Right, Steve, straight up with them all, like, you know what I mean? So someone put in I've seen a chat like, when am I going to host the Crystal Maze? There you go. That's my ambition. So
I saw that.
Yeah. So next question, a bit more serious now about the manager situation. So Nisa said, Lee, and obviously Dan, both all questions today are addressed to both people. Lee, would you take, and Dan, would you take Klopp and Pep at Arsenal if you had the chance, and why? Obviously, the big question is why would you take them? I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but would you care to explain, guys? We'll start with Lee first. Or Dan, go on.
Sure.
Do you want to go for it? I'll go for it. I don't know what Dan would go for in there. Like Jurgen Klopp, I'd have tomorrow. And the reason I'll have Jurgen Klopp because I just think he's the best. Simple as that. I think that Pep spends more money. I don't think that Pep would have got Liverpool to fourth last season with all those injuries and everything like that. I think that he has the best players, which means that he's got a very, very good chance. I'm not saying that he's not good because he's still got to manage those teams and all that. But for me, Jurgen Klopp, different Klopp. Do you know what? If I was a player, I'd love to play for him because I just feel that, you know, you just would want to do your best for him. So for me, Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree. And the reason I'm going to go with Jurgen Klopp is not because I don't think Pep Guardiola is any good, but the difference is Pep Guardiola has the teams handed to him or is given billions of pounds to put the team together, and then he gets them playing. Trust me, and he does get them playing. Jurgen Klopp put that team together with not much money. Now, he did have a little bit of money on the Van Dijks and the Alissons, but spending 30 million on Mane and 35 million on Salah, everyone was like, oh, I don't know, they're going to be any good. And now they're worth about 150 million, you know. And the teams that he bought them from, Wijnaldum from Newcastle, Firmino from Hoffenheim, Henderson was there from Sunderland, he bought Oxlade, Chamberlain doesn't even get a game from Arsenal, Shaqiri from Stoke, you know, Roma was at Salah, Southampton he bought players from, Leipzig with Keita, Hull, Robertson, you know, he went to all those teams and he recruited what he thought was a style or players that would suit that style, and the style is very, very attractive to watch. So I would go Jurgen Klopp 100%, mate.
I would agree as well. I would love to see Jurgen Klopp at a team like Arsenal. I think it'd give him a lease of life, especially on the field. What would you guys to say to it? Would you prefer Jurgen Klopp or Pep as Arsenal manager? We'll put that in a poll in about 5 minutes. So let's go into a super chat from TAVC, who's an avid listener of Lee Judges TV, and we thank you for joining every single stream that we do. Every single time, obviously, TAVC has asked this, and thank you very much for your kind donation. What portion of Arsenal's problems as a club at the moment are due to Wenger's later years and how he stayed on too long, 100% or less? I think he's asking, basically, are the club's problems at the moment due to Wenger's later years?
Not as far as I'm concerned. The only thing that I would think that as Wenger's years is there's a few players that are on big money that he can't get rid of. That is the only thing that I would say was, you know, going from there, like, you know. And look, Arsene Wenger left a long, long time ago now, like, and you know, I think it's ridiculous when people keep saying, "Oh, he's the reason we're being held back" and all that. Like, you know, the ghost of Arsene Wenger. Not for me. You know, the one thing I'm going to give Arsene Wenger a lot of credit for over the last few years, he's not hung around or anything like that to put any pressure on any other manager. You don't see him in the stands and all that, like, you know. So he doesn't. Yeah, and I think that, you know, whether that's because he chooses because of what happened with Arsenal, I don't know. But he could go back to the Arsenal and just calls and waves. He never has. So I don't see it. I don't buy that, in my opinion.
I actually blame Wenger for while he was at the club, obviously. I don't blame him for where we are currently now, but I did blame him for some of the players, because I think that putting those players on ridiculous wages, they've been stuck here. You know, we're still stuck with some of them now. Bellerin's coming back, still got Granit Xhaka, still got Kolasinac, still got El Neni, still got Chambers, still got Holding, still got Lacazette. And we can't get rid of him. So that is down to Arsene Wenger putting him on silly wages with Gazidis. But when I look at the way we are now running on the pitch, I don't blame him one bit, because it's a different manager, a different regime now. What I blamed Arsene Wenger for was the last few years of his reign, and I believed he should have gone a lot longer before he did, was because he just wouldn't go that extra mile to get that one or two extra players that we needed. It seemed like he just couldn't do that. He'd much rather hang on to the Scalaccis instead of going and get a Van Dijk. He'd much rather hold on to Granit Xhaka than go and get an N'Golo Kante. And that really frustrated me. You know, we said it earlier, someone said about not getting Suarez, 40 million and a pound. Where would it have been with Suarez? Where would it be in Kante instead of Xhaka? Where would we be in Van Dijk instead of Mustafi? We never really got the recruitment right with him, and I never really felt like we got the best out of some of those players that we missed out on. So that's why I blame Wenger, but I don't blame him currently, no.
Yeah, I obviously, from me, watching as a supporter through, you know, the early noughties all the way, I don't really blame Wenger too much on that respect. I think it just became a bit archaic, and the system became archaic, and it didn't evolve with the times. So from outside perspective, as a neutral, I don't blame him or neither obviously contribute Arsenal's downfall to it. So that's my opinion. And obviously for a little bit of the midway of this video today, we're actually going to show you the highest engaged video from our channel. Can everybody guess which one it is? I'm going to play it for everyone and then we can check it out ourselves. Let's do it.
Hi, welcome to Lee Judges TV. Dave, instead of going right, we're going left to Highbury. Welcome to Lee Judges TV. So we've come out of Arsenal Station now. Me and my dad used to come out of here from Oakwood, so we'd now come out of here, we're going to the North Bank. When I went with my dad, he used to go to the clock end, so we'd go all the way around to the clock end. But when I come on my own, into the North Bank, I'll become a North Bank boy. So we're just going to move along now. The flags, the burger bar used to be here and everything. Like the burger bar used to be on the corner there. And there used to be a fella with all flags and scarves and things like that. And there was the buzz about coming into the game at Highbury. Magic, something about it which was special coming down this road. Now to get into the North Bank, there's two entrances in the North Bank to go. The first one we're coming up to now, first entrance North Bank. So if you're running late, you jump into this one here, like, yeah. Just on the corner here is a very, very famous building, as you can see. And I'm going to tell you this now, guys, this has not changed this much from the 80s to now. It's not hardly changed. This is Arsenal Supporters Club. Things like that. This is where the coaches used to meet. I don't know if they still do, and they pick them up when going on away games. And there's a little bar in there as well. And I can tell you now, this is virtually the same as it was back in the 80s and the Charlie Nicholas days and the Pat Rice and Liam Brady days. Yeah. Right, so you've got the famous chip shop there that people, Arsenal fans, queue up for on the chips to get their chips and all that. The good thing, there's a cafe there, the Arsenal cafe there, Three Angels cafe, it's been there for years and years, and we're going to go up to Avenel Road now. The good thing is about moving to the Emirates that the places like this have managed to keep going, keep open and all that, like, so that where Arsenal haven't moved 10 mile away or whatever, all the local business has been able to keep going and trading on Arsenal games. You come past here on a match day, back in the day at Highbury, this chip shop used to be packed, the cafe used to be packed, and of course the pubs all around Finsbury Park will all be packed and still are, because the club only moved just over the road. Right, this is the famous Avenel Road. As you can see, the hill that goes up there, the stadium and East Stands on the left-hand side. Now, this road was very prominent in the '89 victory parade when Arsenal won the league. Of course, at Anfield, loads and loads of fans come down to the stadium and partied on this street here, which is famous in the Fever Pitch film as well. But when in reality, in '89, after that game was a Friday night, everybody come along here and was drinking, getting beers and cans from the off licences and celebrating Arsenal's famous win at Anfield. Unbelievably, this is the other entrance to the North Bank, like famous entrance that would put you into the North Bank as well, like, you know. And as you'd go in here, you had the children's, like, you know, the youth section where you go there, like the children's enclosure, or they used to call it, like, you know, and you go there. So if you was a junior gunner or a young Arsenal fan, that's where you stand, wishing to be like on the North Bank, like, you know. But famous gates, like there's somebody like laughing in there, doing all the sort of stuff now. It's all completely. I think this is a gym now, so there's like a famous gym so in the East Stand. But this is the North Bank. This is where it all vibrant when you used to come down here, like coming into the stadium. Right, so if you just look above me there, that's where the Arsenal changing room was, first team changing room. And if a lot before the game and after the game, loads of fans used to stand out here waiting to have a glimpse of the players. They may stick their head out the window or something like that, and you never know, you might get a glimpse of one of your heroes playing, like, but that's where they were. Right, so now we're up at a famous clock end entrance. Like, it used to be like a box office here where you could get your tickets for games and everything like that, like, you know. So this is it, the entrance here, and we're going to go now in to Highbury. So this is where you go. So we're going to go into the clock end. We're the clock end, we're the clock end, we're the clock end, Highbury, we're the North Bank, we're the North Bank, we're the North Bank, Highbury. So now we're in actually to the complex of Highbury. So now, as you're looking at that over there on the left-hand side, that would be the West Stand, over there on the west side. This would be the clock end, the east side, and there's obviously the North Bank. As you can see now, it's completely different to how it used to be. Brings back memories just looking around here, and it's hard to believe that this is a football ground. Arsenal went unbeaten in 2004. All the things that have happened here. There's a pitch. It's quite surreal actually being in here and looking at this famous ground that is not a ground no more. Oh, I've done it again, now it's your turn. Like, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. Until the next time, see you soon.
Well, that's pretty much it. Obviously, that is the highest engaged video that we've ever had on our channel. A staggering 85% of people watched it all the way through. So that is amazing numbers. And obviously, thank you. That is our channel trailer, guys. Me and Lee obviously were in the studio one day and we were like, Lee, why don't we just make a channel trailer and just go down to Highbury and just explore all the memories and let's create something for the viewers. So how did you find that experience, obviously going across, you know, back to Highbury, Lee, and obviously revisiting a lot of the memories, obviously talking about your dad when you left Arsenal station, going up and down, obviously Gillespie Road, all the way to Avenel Road as well, and, you know, viewing the Highbury as it is now. How did you find that?
It was just a fantastic place and funny because do you remember, like, I had a mental block about the schoolboys enclosure. That's what it was called, the schoolboys enclosure. I think children and all that, you know, it's a special place. And the good thing about going to Arsenal now is that I actually come from Finsbury Park, like most of the time from Finsbury, have a drink up at Finsbury Park and come down. So you actually turn right, so you don't actually see the ground, because I'd still get, if I had to go past that, it would be it brings back fantastic memories, but also sad memories and things like that, like, you know, because of what it meant to me and what it meant, you know, like for my dad. You know, my dad only went, I think, to the Emirates once, and you know, but my dad used to take me to the to Highbury all the time, and I think with the Emirates, I think it's a fantastic stadium, and I think you have to move with the times. It's like the views at the Emirates, wherever you sit, are fantastic and all that. But it was just saying about Highbury. It was just saying like we growing up as a kid, and having all those memories, and seeing all those fantastic footballers that played there. I would have to say, well, some world class players played on that pitch, and one of the greatest things about this, and I always say this, and we was talking about this with Kevin, you know what I mean, like the other week, like, he was fortunate enough to play on it, but there was a stage when at the end of the season they used to let you on the pitch. The last game of the season, you could go and have a run about on the pitch and all that, like, I don't know when they stopped doing that, but it was like fantastic last game of the season. You'd be 10 to go scoring in the North Bank and running around the pitch. It was just fantastic. Memories. You weren't. They stopped doing that, but there was the band that used to come around at half time, and the fella used to throw the baton up in front of the North Bank all the time. The North Bank used to hope and pray that he'd drop it one day, and apparently he did drop it once. So that rumours, but we'd all like go, and he'd catch it, and it was a part of the showman thing and all that. Like, the band that was never at any other club. You know what I mean? They had like music records and things like that, but Arsenal brought on a band at half time, and just going through it. Like my dad, like the clock end when I first started, the clock end when I was at Arsenal didn't have a roof. And my dad and all his mates were all clock-in people, So, like, if it was raining, you get soaking wet, like, and you think, yeah, come on, Dad, let's go in the North Bank. Like, I'm a clock-in boy. When you're old enough, son, you can go in there when you're old enough, like, So when I was old enough, straight into the North Bank, and that's where it was, like, So, great memories, great. And one of the greatest things about Highbury was we go to away grounds and they've got the pylon floodlights. Highbury just had them on the roof, and I always thought that was something special as well. Do you know what I mean? Because no one else had that. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, just great memories. Great memories.
Yeah, Dan, your memories of Highbury, because you didn't feature obviously in that trailer. What was your memories of Highbury?
Yeah, I was very young, Dave, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. First experiences of course of going to live games was our away games as well, but also at Highbury, and I was very lucky because my best friend's family worked at Highbury, so we went up there all the time, and we used to sit up the North Bank, and I remember watching some unbelievable games. I was probably only about 13 or 14 when I started to go and watch them, and luckily around that time, the Arsene Wenger years, we used to win a lot of games, and it was a great time to start supporting the club. So I had some great memories of it, and watching that there with Lee, I mean, it's unbelievable, by the way, the quality, Dave, I've got to say, absolutely superb that is, footage-wise. But the actual place, it kind of hurts round here while I'm watching it. I don't know what the feeling is. It's kind of I remember wanting to go to the Emirates because it was a new project. It was a new experiment. We were sold a dream. We were going to be able to have one of the best stadiums in the world, I don't think because of the age that I was when we went there that I quite appreciated what we were going to be missing. And I look at it now, and I preferred Highbury. I think maybe it's because of the history of the stadium and the club as well, and we haven't won as much in the Emirates. Hopefully that will change, but it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. But certainly miss Highbury, and walking along there, looking at Lee, what was there before with all the scarves, all the burger vans, all of the merchandise you could have got, and all the badges, and I remember the sweet stall. We used to go there, walking down. It just, brings back good memories and sad memories, like Lee says.
Well, a bit more obviously onto a lighter question. This can tie in with Highbury a little bit because it's kind of like a double-ended question. There's one question for Dan and one question for Lee. It's a super chat from Mark Arthur Phillips. Thank you very much for your kind donation. It is much appreciated. Dan, what kind of music you like? You can ask that to Lee as well. And Lee and Dan, who's your favourite Arsenal player of all time? Because the last question I think we addressed at the beginning. So Dan and Lee, music. What are your music interests?
I am massively into Indian soft rock. I love Oasis. I love Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love the Wombats. Absolutely love the Wombats. Been to see them loads and loads of times. But also what I love is guy with a guitar. So I could listen to Ed Sheeran, Ben Howard, and those types of musicians quite a lot. Anyone with a unique voice for me. I think if I was to go back in time though and watch somebody live, it would be Queen. I absolutely loved Queen. I thought that was exceptional. Freddie Mercury was unique, and I don't think there'd be anybody as good a performer as him. So that would
Yeah.
be what I would go for. There was another question there, wasn't there, Dave, as well? Can't remember what it was now.
Yeah, it was. Who's your
Music
favorite
and-
Arsenal player of all time?
Favourite all-time Arsenal player is Ian Wright, but the best player to ever wear the shirt is Dennis Bergkamp, as far as I'm concerned. So I'll
Which
go
always
Ian Wright
divides
as my
opinion.
favourite. It does indeed. Ian Wright was my favourite because he was my hero growing up. Absolutely love him and pretty much support the club because of it. But Dennis Bergkamp for me was the best player to ever wear the shirt.
Yeah, Bergkamp definitely always divides opinion between Bergkamp and Henry and several others as well. So, Lee, music you like and favorite Arsenal player of all time. We'll start with the music.
Do you know?
Because I
I
think
like
nobody
all-
knows. I think nobody. I don't know.
I like all sorts of music, like like a bit of the old boy band stuff. I like U2. I like all sorts of music. Elton John. I can go from all through all sorts of things. I haven't really got one specific one where I say like, I'm mad about. But I'll go for like Brian Adams. I've gone to see I'd like to go and see Elton John if I'll be honest. But like U2 were mad.
Yeah.
I was a big favourite back in the day.
So you go to theatres often, don't you? You go to theatres.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
like, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a little of people that know. I've actually spoken to Madonna. That is my claim to
Oh,
fame.
nice.
So back in the day, my mate used to run a car. He's someone that he knew. I don't think it was his uncle or something in the family that used to run the security and all that. Like, so we used to become stewards. For like I remember going to like Michael Jackson, Madonna, Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston. You won't believe this, Jason Donovan. Well, that was the worst one ever to be stewards because you had to, you just normally just go in and watch him. You know what I mean? But you weren't allowed. People weren't allowed to jump on the seat. So you imagine all the screaming kids watching Jay. Get down. You know what I mean? I couldn't enjoy Jason at all. Like it was an absolute joke. You know what I mean? But like for the big ones, you would like it was easy. Well, one day we were sitting on the and Madonna was warming up doing her thing like, and I was standing there. She said, "Excuse me," on the mic. I've looked around. There's only me there, like so. She's gone, "Yes, you." So I said, "Oh, well, I thought she was going to ask for a date. I thought I was in, you know what I mean?" Like, so she said, so she was singing this song like, "Don't be silly, put a condom or rubber on your willy," like, you know what I mean? Is what she actually did in the on the actual song. And she said, being English, what was the best thing to say? Like, do you know what I mean? So I said, well, it's more condom than rubber back in the day, you know what I mean? So it would be condom. So she said, "Oh yeah, thank you very much." Like, So you imagine when it comes to beating a song and she went, "Don't be silly, put a condom on." I went, "Yes, I done that." Like, you know what I mean? So that is my claim to fame. So yeah, so back in the day, we used to go to lots and lots of concerts. So, yeah, I do like my theatre. I do like going to the theatre and all, like,
Was you there that night? Was you there that night when you pulled her long dress and she fell off the stage? Was that you, Lee?
No, I wasn't there then. Like, you know what I mean? So, anyway, after that, we went out for about 6 months, but we kept it very quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. And favorite Arsenal player of all time? I think you've had a
Up on the
quite
wall,
yeah.
Yeah, and had the great fortune to meet him a couple of weeks ago, and wasn't disappointed. And that is Charlie Nicholas, all-time favourite. And I'd imagine that he's a lot of my era sort of favourite at the time. Wearing the hair, everybody had their hair like him and everything like that. And it was for me, Charlie Nicholas, the best player to wear the Arsenal shirt, Patrick Vieira for me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, looking on it, from my age group, I'll probably go Dennis Bergkamp as well. I think Dennis Bergkamp is in the ilk of Zidane, not so much on that level, but that same kind of oozing class around the pitch. Just literally don't leave footprints on the grass. That's what they all say, isn't it? And I think Dennis Bergkamp for me, just that goal against it was Newcastle, wasn't it? was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
best goal ever. Best goal I've ever seen.
I've never seen a goal so classy in my life. So good, so good. Apart from obviously the Zidane's volley as well in the Champions League final, which is always a good one. There was a question before, really cool one. Obviously, we've got 10 minutes left, guys. Make sure you get your questions in. Last 10 minutes to actually get your questions answered by Lee and Dan, or the other way, Lee and Dan. There you go. If you were owners of Arsenal, what would you do at this present time? You are the owners. You get a briefcase, Lee. Briefcase, Dan. Briefcase. £50 billion. You're taking over Arsenal. What would you do?
Do you want me to go first, Lee, or do you want to go first?
Go on, you go first. Go on, you go first.
You want me to go first? So I would, if I was the owner, I would get a board of Arsenal men involved. So I would bring in the likes of some of the names we've just mentioned, who know what it's like to wear the shirt but actually win stuff for the Arsenal of all different eras. It could be David O'Leary's, the Dennis Bergkamps, the Patrick Vieira's, those type of figures. I would get a manager in that is a proven winner, that has ambition to win, Diego Simeone, Antonio Conte, and I would allow them to bring their staff in and give them everything they want in terms of squad money to invest, because I would only demand the best, and that is winning trophies, competing at the highest level in the Champions League, and of course trying to go for the Premier League title. That is what I would do as an owner. So if anyone fancies it, then vote me in, and I'll get the cronkies out, and I'll take over. Cheers.
Lee, owner Lee Judges. Imagine that above the door of the Emirates in your box office. You've already been in a Diamond Lounge though, so it's all right.
100%. I will get Arsenal men involved, proper players that have played before, like, you know, and bleed Arsenal. And there are a few that are still about doing the hospitality and things like that, but I'd get them more involved. I would bring in the best forwards that money can buy, and Pepe would be one of them. And a proper centre forward to go along with what we've got. Haaland, yeah.
Haaland and Mbappe, you'll be just like, that's it, finish.
Why not?
Dream squad.
Why not? And then I'll bring in another top midfield player. And then I think, like, I'd give Arteta a month if he ain't won every single game. Then I'll bring in someone that can win games. So I'd give him a chance. I'd give him a chance to play with the big boys. But no, I think, like, when I say, like, you know, getting someone like a winner, you know, like Mourinho was a winner, it'd have to be the right fit. Who would be the right fit for the job? You know, like someone with that would also bring up a brand of football that we can be proud of. You know, so I want us to be attacking and all that. Like, so I will go to in my chauffeur or my first class train up to Liverpool and get Jurgen Klopp.
Nice. Good stuff. We had a question here. I want to try and find it. I think it's, have you ever been to South America or Africa? It's a bit of a travel question. Let's actually ask, where's the best place that you've ever traveled to? What's the most elaborate place that you traveled to? The one that's like gone
absolutely beautiful, Skegness.
Skegness, yeah, 100%. I know. I can feel it. But yeah, in all honesty, where's the best place that you've ever traveled to? That'd be a good question.
Dubai.
Mexico for me. Mexico. I loved it.
What was it about it that was that just caught your eye?
Well, funny enough, I actually went for my mate's wedding, and there was about 20 of us, but it was fantastic. The way you were treated over there was fantastic. Weather was superb, beautiful place, unbelievable beaches, everything there for you. You don't need to move. Proper lazy holiday, you know. And you could have a choice of five-star restaurants, food, eating and drinking all day, pool bars to swim up to, all inclusive. Lovely job, lovely. Loved it.
And Dubai, Lee?
Yeah, I think Dubai
must have been amazing.
You know, America was fantastic. Traveling around America when I was younger, I'd done all that, like, you know. But for me, Thailand's very, very nice. Lovely beaches in Thailand, like, you know what I mean. So, but obviously I go out there because my brother lives out there. But yeah, I think Dubai just spectacular. I think one of the things I never really fancied going to Dubai. I've always felt like people sort of said, "Oh, you either love it or you hate it." But once I went there, I thought, "Oh my god," you know what I mean? Like it just blew everything else away, in my opinion. Like, you know, so Dubai, yeah.
Must have been amazing.
I haven't been South America or Africa, though. I haven't been to either of those.
No,
Well, South America, yeah, have you been Mexico?
Oh, sorry.
Central.
Yeah, I have been there.
Central,
Sorry.
north.
Sort of.
North, yeah.
Sort of.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I've been to Tunisia, so that is Africa. Like, I know it's on the border of it, but I have been to.
No,
to
it is.
Tunisia,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I've been there, like, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have a
no.
super chat here. Thank you very much for your kind donation, Brandon. Sick of this loser mentality in the fan base. We're being left behind before the Newcastle takeover. Now we're guaranteed the mid-table team. Trust the PR process, as he says. Obviously, this Newcastle takeover is just dominating headlines at the moment in the Premier League, and it's pretty extravagant. The last question we're going to take is from Prince Teddy. Who's also another avid listener of the channel. He's with us every single stream, every time. So thank you very much, Prince Teddy. What are your plans with the channel? And we can actually answer this, all three of us, all together. So Lee, what would your plans with the channel be? What do you want this after the million views? This could be the last question of the
What we want, what I want is like good content, proper fans coming on, like, you know, giving their opinion, whether it be Arsenal or whatever, and just making it enjoyable and fun, you know, and people wanting to enjoy it, like good, you know, like things like the Highbury thing. I like to do a little bit diving into the Arsenal history and doing things like that. That's something that I want to do. Before I go, I just want to say, like, for also, like, a massive thank you to everybody that come up with fan cams and things like that are doing that.
Yeah,
like,
everyone.
I've got to say a big up to
Lucy,
Abby.
Albert,
yeah, all of them guys, but like people like Abby,
Russ, yeah, Abby as well, yeah.
Abby that come down to the studio with her, was very, very busy, give up her time. Probably that I still think is the one of the highest videos we've had with the guests. Pippa, Charlene, and of course Harry that's come down there. Kevin,
Harry as well.
Studio.
Charlene, yeah, exactly.
Charlene have done all of that. Rory as well. They've given up their time to come down to the studio, travel and everything like that to make things happen and do those sort of things. And everybody behind the scenes, we've got some fantastic people behind the scenes as well. So everybody, a big thank you. Yeah, and just bringing up some more content, bit of a laugh. I'm one of these people that likes to have funny things on as well. Like I'm trying to get Dave at this moment in time to put up all the clips of when we mess up and everything.
Like the one in the channel trailer where I hit the tree.
Yeah, the hit the tree, that's got to come up, like, and all things like so. And taking the mickey out of ourselves, I like all that. So I'm trying to convince Dave to put that one up there, so that we can all have a laugh at our expense as well. Like, I like all things like that, a bit of fun, make it fun, because at times Arsenal can be tough following them, and it can be great following them. So you need to have that little bit of lightheartedness as well, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, same here. I think Dan. Obviously, you were second that, but what would you like to add to it as well for the channel?
Yeah, I think that what we've tried to do is allow people to have a voice on this channel, but also help each other's channels out and help them grow. For example, literally in 2 minutes' time, we've got the Gooners podcast with Mike, who's been great for this channel, and he has been in the chat all night. So make sure you go over to the Highbury Squad and subscribe. Make sure you go over to the Gooners podcast and subscribe, because you'll see all of us on there. We're all going to be,
Albert JTV as well. Everybody,
Albert JTV, Guns and Yellow Ribbons, all of these Arsenal content that will be provided on different nights for you all. So make sure you go and do that, because it's really important for us that we get, the guests on that grow through these platforms as well. And also our position fans are going to be coming on after the international break to have a voice. So I think that's something that we haven't quite had on as much together all at once. So Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a new show on Friday nights, the Pots Preview, which is going to be the best games of the weekend from an Arsenal point of view, which will be myself and Lee when he is available. And when we're both available, we're going to jump on with some opposition fans and talk about the Premier League and talk about the upcoming games. And I think that's what you can expect moving forward. And some more guests and, more importantly, some very well-known ex-players and guests, particularly on Arsenal Soup and, of course, on Arsenal If and When. So that's what to expect, I believe, in the coming future.
Huge things coming obviously for the channel. So for me to sign off, I think I second everything that you both said. Happy obviously to create this channel and bring it up, obviously to the best that it can be. We're going to have so much content. This month is Black History Month. We are going to be doing a special documentary to commemorate Arsenal players. For example, like Rocky Rocastle, Thierry Henry, Ian Wright. We're going to have special guests, including Pippa, Charlene, and much more. We're also going to do many more documentary styles. We want to do something which is going to be involving Lee and a few guests, which we want to keep secret for now. I mentioned to the boys, and they're all on the project. So, guys, that's pretty much been the 1 million views. Much appreciated. I'm actually going to put the link in the actual chat for you to go and visit the Gooners podcast. It's actually starting right now. I'm going to pin it at the top. So everybody, make sure you head over there. We've hit 1 million views, guys. 1 million views, and we applaud that. So, guys, much appreciated. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, comment down below. And there's nothing more to say than we've done it again. That's it.
Well, you ain't
So
FIFA,
you say,
by the way.
you say it.
You've got to pick yourself up on that FIFA game. I'll tell you.
Yeah, well
I-
played,
I-
Dave. FIFA.
No, I've don't worry, I'm winning. I'm winning now. I'm winning. But Lee, do you want to say?
Was it after my pep talk, right?
Yeah, after the pep talk. Yeah. You want to say he's on it again, or I've done it again?
You've done it again, Dave. You've done it again.
That's it. We're signing off, guys. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for joining, and we leave you with this.